what I already said, I want to see how now transitions into playing against some of the stronger teams for the reasons mentioned before. Dino isn't here. They have to play with makke. Obviously, they got lucky in that sense. Like, he's a very experienced player. He's a strong player. But Dino is just the best right now when it comes to like dishing out the pain. So they will have to adapt here. They will have to find the rhythm, and we'll see how this now works out against Godzillas. So Infernal Shrines is our first map, and we're obviously jumping in right away, this time with the Junkrat ban.
We haven't even seen any Junkrat so far on the cast, but I mean, a very powerful hero, has really strong wave clear, you know, Riptire, a very impactful ultimate, and then also, I mean, Stitch is a hero that Mascarade has been playing, being able to put down that trap with the Stitches coming into it, just a good follow-up CC. We'll be curious to see what bans Wa goes for. You know, Johanna definitely is one I would expect.
Yep.
Yep, and there it is.
Yeah, in this map you have to ban Jojo. Even before everybody started playing her, this was the map where everyone was like, all right, like she has sick value here, this and Tomb. But then we got talking about the supports again. Stukov, always a threat. He can really control those choke points super easily, can set up kills and ruin tons and tons of plays. So we'll see if we're going to get anything on that end again. Blaze, obviously. I mean, when we're talking about side laners in Infernal, you're talking about Blaze, ban right here. Leo is always a good pick. You've seen a lot of Udall also for the control that she can offer. Yeah. So I really want to see what the blue team does because, as you said, this is going to be a tougher match.
Yeah, they
Godzillas had a good run earlier.
Yep, and I'll be curious to see, like, do they let Stukov go through? Will this be the kind of the first Stukov game we see on cast? Because the hero has generally been banned in this first phase, and I mean, as it's running down here, 3, 2, 1, they're unsure. No, they are going to do it, yeah. So Stukov, Johanna, two very powerful meta picks going to be taken out here. And with the first pick, I mean, you got a couple options. I feel like Leo's maybe a bit too early. You could go something like that Sylve. I think Sylve's really strong on this map. But, oh, yeah, I mean, Hogger is someone I just wasn't even thinking of, able to set up that death spin of just securing the objective.
Hogger is a typical example of a hero that is insanely strong and always slips my mind. Like, all the time. I have no idea how. It's like always, you know, like you have like these 4 or 5 options in your head.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell you how many times I've been going through, they could do this, they could do that, and then Hogger pops up and I'm like, of course. So it's like the typical thing, but yeah.
Yes.
We get Rhaegar, so him as an early pick here, obviously nerfed, but still on this map quite strong. And Falstad. Makke plays Falstad a lot. So he has his Mephisto, yes, it's definitely true, but he has also played a ton of Falstad and really likes to play the birdie. Yeah. So that helps them here with the side lane pressure again. The Sylvanas you pointed out a bit earlier is making an appearance.
I will say, I think if Dino's here for Team Wa, I think that's like a Rhaegar Sylvanas rotation. I feel like Dino loves picking up Sylve, especially in that 1-2. But, I mean, maybe that's a bit of comfort where Makke likes that Falstad, prefers, I mean, definitely a strong hero with the global, but does allow Red Zero G to get this Sylvanas. I mean, they have Hogger for really good shrine control to basically allow them to get the objective, and the Sylvanas to help get value off of it with the pushing. So far, definitely liking the composition coming out from the red team.
But I can definitely see coming through at some point for them is in some draft that they're drafting something for Makke initially and then flip it over to someone like Ultralisk and instead pull it in their Mephisto for Makke. I don't know how much NA really is going to check out his Mephisto plays, how much it is on their radar. He likes it, but again, he's not one-tricking it either, but it's always like one of those threats, and sometimes you can really see on the European side that some teams, you know, you just feel it. It's on the map, and they're like, okay, no Mephisto for you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so you haven't played it in like a week, but still, yeah, spider senses are tingling.
Because this is one of the better Mephisto maps, I think, right? Yes. Where it's like people are forced to come to that objective, so maybe we do end up seeing Ultralisk pit the Falstad if the Mephisto is picked up later, but 2 tank bans are going to be coming out in this last ban phase, the Diablo and the Anubrak. And daykwaza going to get the Leo here. They don't have a lot of burst damage. And Ultralisk giving us one of the juicy melee assassins. Maiev is going to be the pickup. Yeah,
Maiev for him. Yeah, he's terrifying with that. It's definitely one of his favorites. And oftentimes banned against him too. Yeah. Like his Carrigan gets banned in Europe all the time. His Maiev gets banned a lot. Obviously, as we already talked about in the first series, it depends a little bit. If Dino plays with them, then you're always caught between a rock and a hard place. Yeah. What do you get rid of? But here comes the Vala pick, and we get the Uther main tank. So in this case, again, auto attack a possibility. And I like it. Double support together with Vala allows her to go super aggressive and get those stacks.
I love the 2 support combo they have too. Brightwing, Uther bring a lot of CC, a lot of stuns, polymorph, and also the global pressure, right? Brightwing will be able to potentially soak one of those side lanes, and then Z on in. Or even Sylvanas could potentially do a lot of side lane soak as well, and Stitches is going to be the pick for Masquerade. I think this is pretty solid. I think, you know, playing into this death ball composition of the double support volley, you want to be able to hook it, you want to be able to gorge it, and just really split it up. So I think both teams have a strong win condition. It really is just going to come down to execution, in my opinion.
It's also going to be a bit of a question of what Stitches is going to pick on his level 10 here, because you normally look at this and you're saying, okay, gorge, you get the gust in. Then again, you think about the objective, and on Infernal Shrines, you could go into Projectile. We don't see it a lot, very rarely actually in Europe. If Stitches gets picked, it's usually always Gorge.
Yeah.
So here you could argue, all right, do they maybe do something else? But obviously, when you have a false stat in your setup, and you go up against a double support, you get a good isolation going. And with false stat, you can also use the same play with Leo. Get the Entomb out, get a good gust going, and then isolate one target, burn it down before Uther can get close enough to drop the Divine Shield.
Well, and they also have the containment disc from Ultralisk, right? I mean, he may end up going Warden's Cage, we'll see, but I think containment disc could be really good. You have, you know, that Entomb Gust combo to potentially split heroes up. You have the Gorge to potentially split heroes up. You have the containment disc to potentially split heroes up. So they do have a lot of tools to break up this double support, right? To not just let them sit there, dish out damage, and then also be able to save the Vala or the Sylvanas, whoever's gone on.
Which is pretty much exactly what you got to do there. You got to split them, and also you got to pressure Vala, trying to get those kills in. Just to make sure that you get at least a few of those Gambit stacks removed, always assuming, of course, that she's going into the auto attack. But yeah, that's pretty much what we can expect here.
Yeah, as it looks like we're going to be get into game number 1 here on the Infernal Shrines. On the right here, we've got Funds playing the Vala, Zero on the Uther, Savit on the Brightwing, Gojira on the Hogger, and Red Zero G playing that Sylvanas.
On the left side, Masquerade, he's playing his Stitches. Patchwork Creation as the level 1 talent, we talked about it earlier. Ultralisk, he's going for Maiev. daykwaza with Leo on the side lane. And obviously, we've got a makke on Falstad with a nagrom playing Rhaegar.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Nagrom's able to flex between support and tank. I mean, originally when we drafted him for the CCL team, was a tank player, but has been very impressive on the support. And as I say that, he's feeding. Nagrom's running it right now. Ultralisk coming in. Actually, Fun's taking a decent amount of damage here, but right as I sing Nagrom's praises, he makes me regret it.
Yeah, quick kill against Sims, so the dog is down. So first blood goes to the North American team, and 12 stacks to Vala. So she picked up, eventually, the auto attack. And now it's all about how well can the blue team control Vala. Can they get a few kills and remove some of that auto attack speed?
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, I think the auto build is definitely what you're looking for here with that double support. Going to be pretty powerful, but expect this early game to be, you know, just fairly normal, just kind of rotates. Both teams take out their siege camp, and really the biggest thing I'll be curious about is how does this first objective play out? Do we see, you know, split push from the Sylvanas potentially? Do we see maybe the Falstad getting a lot of pressure on the global? I'm really curious to see how they split up these lanes.
Could even see an early battle between them for the third camp at the bottom of the map, so that could be popping up soon. Zero for a second, a bit of trouble. The Hawk is also connecting. He also has his shields out, so that is chunking him down a bit. Burns his mana and also his hit points. Funds, on the other hand, is trying to turn it here, but they got the gang set up in the mid lane, and Gojira goes down. In comes Maiev, Ultralisk.
And on the 3v4 on the bottom side, Wa is able to get the camp as well. So they kill the offlaner and get the camp. Going to be a decently large XP swing going their way, as it looks like Ultralisk going in here, able to get a two-person pull onto the Uther, onto the Brightwing. Not your ideal target, but Funds on this Vala, falling so low. makke trying to finish him off and not going to be able to do it.
Nice save, though.
Masca?
Yeah, they tried to go for the kill again, but saving Vala in that situation was absolutely important and beautiful. So 33 stacks currently for her, another 17, and she gets the first reward on the auto attack. That could have been the first death on her. And if you start losing attack speed this early because of the Gambit loss, then yeah, you're in trouble. So that was a really important save.
Yeah, but a slight experience lead here for the side of Team Wa. Definitely have been winning out on this early game engage, but the objective is now going to be spawning. Both teams taking out the Bruiser camp. This is, you know, good. This is standard play. When that first objective is coming out, you're able to get that Bruiser camp up as well. But it looks like Vala and Sylvanas are both rotating bottom. Okay, Vala is going to run back up. I like that. I don't feel like you overextend both your damage here.
In the meantime, Leo also at the top lane. We got also Death Dealer now on level 4. Brightwing with the magic spit. Disgusting as usual. Fruit Fly is already like in the first place, but then if you go for that talent, it's like
Just double that. Oh, Fun's here actually going to be getting hooked. I assume Brightwing's going to be trying to Z in.
Oh, and there's the kill. Yeah, that's the first Gambit stack down right there. Good kill against Vala. Makke with the final blow. And the level 7 talents in the hands of Team... And 7 is the most important thing in the early game on this map, because it always happens when you're on the first objective, and that usually gives you the upper hand. But they are pushing through the bot lane instead. Ooh. And they're murdering Uther here. Zero is down. And Sylvanas is also in a pretty awkward position right now. She needs to be super careful because the blue team is still pushing for it. And there's the hook, and that could be a follow-up kill.
Sheesh, Maske hitting every single hook here, not even V-steps!
Nice.
Asserting EU dominance makes me sad as an NA boy. But I mean, during all of this, khaldor is not winning this objective. Brightwing going to be able to TP in, but they're getting very chunked, and it's going to be 25 Shrine minions to about 15. As Fun's here is potentially going to fall for a second time. 140 HP. Is going to be able to make it out. Yes, he is. That's a big save.
Yeah, but honestly, if Makke is a barrel roll there, just go in, my friend. Just YOLO. That trade that you get there, even if you die, as long as you kill Vala and remove another Gambit, you're fine. I also don't know what happened to Vala there. She must have gotten hooked, right? There's no way he goes that deep without any support.
No, it definitely must have gotten hooked here. As it looks like the objective, only 2 more minions need to be secured. And daykwaza able to get one here. Probably going to potentially lose his life on the Leo here. Ultra able to get the D off. Looks like he's in a scary situation here. The poly comes out, though, and that's going to be a kill going the way of Godzillas. But it looks like they might be able to get the return. The barrel! If he didn't get the auto, Maske was about to hit the hook, though.
Yeah, that was solid. So Makke really doing a great job and fitting well in with the team so far. Topside is also getting pushed. The Punisher, in the meantime, has been accompanied by daykwaza as they're trying to go for the first fort here. And there's a lot of pressure against the Godzillas here. They're level behind right now. It's 5 kills to 2. And the topside push is only one problem they got to deal with, because the blue team has started to focus onto the bot lane again.
Yeah, I just feel like the rotations from Team Wah are out of control here. I mean, pressuring top, pressuring bottom, going to end up getting definitely... I don't know if they're actually going to be able to finish either fort, but level 10 is going to be closely achieved. Funds and Savita needs to be very careful here, as ultralisk is going to go in here, and level 10, the Gorge coming out onto the Uther, and this is surely going to be a dead zero. Brightwing actually going for the TP in the Warden's cage. This is a bit scary.
Yeah, cage is out, Uther is dead, and they came in with the rest of the team trying to fight here against level 10 abilities. Quite the play, and very risky too. Funds gets immediately attacked and hooked, but is able to vault back out once again. Red team is still waiting for their heroic abilities, and they just can't fight this. They're losing too much ground here. And Leo has taken the top fort.
Yeah, top fort down, bottom fort down. I don't think it gets much better than that on your first objective. As Funds, the predict coming out from Mascarade. You hear him. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but he just yelled so giddily. He's feeling that 30 ping. This is what he's been waiting for, the opportunity to just, you know, show how good he is at hitting those skill shots on actual comparable ping.
Yeah, 105 stacks for Vala, but she already lost 2 of her Gambit stacks. 2 deaths on her, 72 in total. Finally level 10 abilities for the North American team. The Shockwave comes out, even more stuns with Vala as she goes into the Rain of Vengeance. We got the Wailing Arrow. There's a ton of CC on this team now.
Yeah, well, and the D-Shield and the Blink as well. I mean, these are definitely some tools that you need for the side of Godzillas, will allow them to save that target that is potentially going to be getting hooked.
And Vala is currently also easily top damage in the game. She's currently sitting at 20,000 hero damage. Falset with 18k is second place at this point in time. But they need to get those kills. All the damage in the world doesn't help you if you cannot capitalize on them.
Yeah, if you can't actually finish anyone off. And the scary thing here is that Wah is going to be 13 for this next objective phase, as it looks like the Gorge is going to be coming out onto Mascarade 0. Maybe going to be forced to D-Shield onto himself. No, Brightwing doing a good job healing them up, as it looks like khaldor in the backline doing a lot of damage. And Seshal comes out, the Wailing Arrow as well.
Beautiful timing, and nagrom just pitch perfect, comes in, takes him on, and now the Entomb. daykwaza, the beast with the Entomb. They're dropping Brightwing, they're dropping Sylvanas, they make it a triple. Vala dies again. That's 15% attack speed already removed.
Yeah, and that's going to be the 3rd fort of the game, going the side of Team Wah. As, yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty scary here for the side of Godzilla's. Objective's going to come up too, and they may look to fight this. I mean, it depends what they're looking to do. They're definitely going to be down a talent here, but, you know, maybe you give this and you just D and then look for a fight after, but definitely looking like a scary situation for Godzillas.
It's going to be tricky to recover from this one, because what are your choices? You can either just let the objective go, hope that you're getting a level 13 versus level 13 talent fight later on in the game, or you just try, you bite bullet, you go in and hope that you win, but if you lose that battle, then you are more or less lost. So in this case, it seems like they're going to go for the safer play, they're going to wait it out, they're going to try and apply some top lane pressure. Nice attempt at a steal here, but makke drops the ult.
Yeah, I mean, I like that from both sides. I like Zero scouting in there, knowing they have at least a couple on the objectives, and makke just not looking to risk it, just saying, you know what, Gust is a 50-second cooldown, I'm going to just use it and call it a day.
Yeah, and they're also controlling the objective, so they can slow it down if they want. If they want to wait for one of the cooldowns, there's no problem doing it at this point in time.
Yeah, it's 13, about half a level away for Godzillas, as it looks like Sylvanas Mascarade gets the Gorge and insta B-steps. The D-shield actually comes out. Brightwing going to be able to get some heals off as well, and Sylvanas hits the arrow, and that's going to be a red 0G being able to survive. Ancestral coming out onto Mascarade here on the Stitches. He's going to be able to get out, but daykwaza during all of this secures the objective, is pushing in with the Punisher, and you see why they're just looking to poke, looking to prod, not letting the side of Godzillas actually get a nice safe rotate over to this Punisher, and it's just getting a lot of value on this wall so far.
Pushing at the bot lane right now with the Punisher. Baited over, and the immediate entomb follow-up. Funz finds himself in trouble. Leo goes in, hits the mace, but the slow negated, and Funz makes it out. But he's on the run the entire time here. He's doing a great job trying to get these auto attacks going. He's sitting at 136, but he's under so much pressure continuously as the blue team just tries to go for another kill against him.
Yeah, and the Priming actually used the heal onto the Uther, as it looks like Zero is going to fall here. Funz pretty low, as Immortal is going to be able to finish off this keep. The jump onto the Sylvanas. Do they have the follow-up damage? It does not.
Oh, Brightwing down. Both supports are gone. The keep will fall. Here comes the counter attempt as Gojira comes in with the shockwave, but this is just not happening. Vala is down again. They at least got the kill against Leo. But if there's any hero in the game you want to trade, it's Leoric. The keep is already gone. And team decides that they don't want to risk anything here, so they're going to play it safe and back off for now.
Definitely feel like that's the right move. I saw him kind of posturing for the core, potentially wanting it, but I think that would have potentially been a throw situation, allowing Godzillas to get a lot of kills, a lot of XP, and bring it back into the game. But at this point, if you're Godzillas, you need to hit level 16.
Oh! The hook! And immediately, here not only from the audience, but the players as well. The big hook from Mascarade connects it with Uther, and he is down again. Death number 4 for Uther. Another play being made, this time for Hogger. They are crushing right now. 9 kills ahead, 3 levels. They're gapping them by 3.
Dang, yeah. Mascarade is an absolute menace right now on the Stitches, hitting so many hooks. But, I mean, if you're the side of Godzillas, you need to hit level 16. There's potentially a window where you get 16 before they get 20. As Nagrom is going to throw the totem down, getting a little bit of damage onto the Vala. But I like this from the side of Wa, just pressuring this keep down, forcing with their talent tier advantage, not letting, you know, Fun's going to get hooked, the Gorge as well. Oh, no.
No way. The B-step, the B-step is there. The divine shield.
Good.
Someone was partying a little bit too early, but you can tell that Mascarade is having fun.
Oh, he's having so much fun. And when Mask is having fun, that's a scary time, right? He's one of those players. You know, there's kind of 2 different kinds. When players are having fun, they start throwing, they start inting. I feel like when Mask is having fun, he's playing at his best. So the fact that he's B-stepping, hitting all these hooks, it's a scary sign for this team and also for Diamond Hands or Simplicity later on. And there's another hook connecting.
I didn't know that JPL is playing in the tournament. Like, damn.
JPL's washed. This is Mascarade. He wins every tournament. He's better than JPL.
Oh, big words here.
Huge words.
Oh, and there's the kill. Rega is down. Seems like Nagrom is on the int again. And this is only the moment where they have to be careful, because now the Godzillas, they are on the move. They are coming in, they want kills, and they want more than only one. They're going for Mascarade, they're trying to burn him down. daykwaza is already dead. Stitches is eliminated. That's 3 kills, and they're trying to chase down the remaining 2 players. Finally, a little bit of momentum for the Godzillas as they take level 16.
Yeah, I like this too. Push mid, get this keep down. And this is going to potentially allow them. I mean, Stitches doesn't spawn for another 40 seconds. This is potentially the objective going to go the way of Godzillas if they're set up, if they're in position. Would like to see the Brightwing actually back, though. They're going to have Kata pressure in bottom. They're going to have Kata pressure in mid that they're going to need to stop. But I like them forcing here. I like them getting this fort I don't know if you guys can hear people cheering in the crowd, but they're very excited about how that last team fight went.
Yeah, I also got to explain this real quickly. The reason why the cheers come not always at the perfect moment in time is because the stream that they are watching or the view that they have is a couple of seconds delayed. So that's why we have the action always coming in a bit later from the crowd itself. But the core got just attacked, so they needed to fall back and defend here. And we still got that 3-level lead. Maybe not quite, but it's close. And here comes the fight for the objective. And finally, we got the Godzillas in a fighting position. They are they're 15 stacks in against 9. But of course, the blue team is now trying to aim for victory here. Another entomb, this time unsuccessful. No level 20 yet for Team. The hook is missing.
Fonz.
And is that the opportunity finally for the red team? Again, Fonz with the hits. He's coming in with the damage. And Rhaegar has to use the Ancestral.
Zero is going to be forced to de-shield himself here, but this is 31 to 11 minions. Team Wa is, smartly just going to back up, just going to give this up. Does he have the Gorge? No, he doesn't. But does actually bring the Hogger in. They're going to get the objective in about 2 more minions. Team Wa potentially could be overextending a bit here. They want to hit level 20.
Yes.
You're not going to lose a keep here. And daykwaza properly recognizing we just soak.
Vala is sitting at 50,000 damage at this point. Falstad still a close second with 42,000. But Fonz, despite the fact that he died 4 times already and lost 20% of his attack speed, he's getting the stacks together on his level 1, is sitting at 180 right now and dishes out the damage. And now that he has Manticore, this is really hurting the front line.
As it looks like level 20 has just been achieved for Team Wa. Couple of notes. Level 20 Entomb, level 20 Gust. Both 2 massive abilities that can really set up and destroy the composition for the side of Godzillas. They want to be grouped up, right? But if you had a massive Entomb onto like a Vala and an Uther, it's going to be a very scary situation. Maske is looking here. He wants to hit some more hooks and he gets it! Oh my gosh!
Are you shitting me? What?
Was that blind?
What? Spray game not on point, I gotta say. Like, that's casual standard sprays that Maske is dropping today, but those hooks are fire.
Yeah, he's got like at least a 90% hit rate this game, and I swear that one was in fog. Getting the Uther, and that's a dead Uther for 40 seconds. This is an opportunity for them to look to get the keep, but more importantly, Mascarade just wants to be in position to potentially get more hooks.
Look at this kid. Map hacking and LAN.
Where's the anti-cheat software? Hello?
Yeah, exactly. Come on. No, seriously, but these hooks that he's throwing out right now are just crazy. 15 kills to 6, the top keep. And he does it again! Are you kidding me? Come on! The Entomb follow-up doesn't hit Vala, but still does work. But the red team is fighting back, and they are fighting. It's in 4v5 and nearly take it. Gojira barely makes it out. No kill. The keep is gone, but no kill for Team.
Yeah, that's a lot of ults used here. Potentially would like to see Godzillas. I don't know if you're going to hit level 20 before this objective. Maybe just look to force it now that you have the 5v5. They're down Ancestral. They're down Warden's Cage. I know it's not ideal. I know they have 20, but I don't know if you're going to be able to actually get 20 here. And that looks like what they were going for. Hogger looking to go really aggressive here, but Mascarade does have a bit of vision. Is going to be able to get Uther again. God. Deja vu. Does have D-Shield, though.
Yeah, it needs to use it quickly. But honestly, that was a little bit telegraphed. You're literally attacking the camp. You need to know that this is coming. So they have to sacrifice the Divine Shield. Thanks to the 16 on Stitches, they're slowing them down as they're trying to chase them. And all the keeps are gone. The quad's the only thing that's still standing. We're 16.5 minutes in. Catapults are going to be scaling as all of this continues. I gotta be blunt. Team can lose the game, but the Godzillas can't win it anymore.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Because if you play the objective safe right now and just play for time, the catapults are going to finish them off eventually.
When you play around your Stitches hook too, right? You just look for opportunities for Mascarade to get another hook gorge. He's proven throughout this game, and it's been the Mascarade show. He's been hitting so many hooks throughout this, and they're not even going to have level 20. So if you're the side of Godzillas, do you just try and force the issue? Do you push out your lanes, look for 20, and then look to clear? It's definitely a very scary situation, and Maske almost hitting another one.
He is enjoying this way too much. But of course, there is a danger to all of this as well. If they feel too confident, take a silly fight, they can lose a lot. There is one chance through the mid lane. If you wipe the team, you go for keep, you go for core. Has happened hundreds of times. Could happen here as well. Currently, the blue team is heavily ahead. They took every single major structure. If they play around the objective, they should be able to get either catapults pressuring the core or the objective itself, but they have to be careful that they're not getting too confident here.
Yeah, definitely. As Fun's going a bit aggressive here. Level 20 about to be achieved. I mean, I don't think this is the fight you actually want if you are Team Wa, as level 20 will be achieved here. It's not on objective. You don't have that much cata pressure. You want to play it slow. You want to play, like khaldor mentioned, around that objective, around your Stitches hook.
And now we have 200 stacks already for Vala. So yes, she lost a ton of attack speed, but she is hitting like a truck at this point.
Yeah.
With Manticore against Stitches in particular, Falstad is already going to the top lane. And you can tell, they're not going for the fight. They know that the team fight is the way they lose this game, or at least that it could happen. But if they just play around them and play the macro, that's the play. So they're going in again, they're forcing them back. Leo is staying on the shrine, so if everybody backs off on the side of the red team, they can go for the objective. It's a pretty smart play that they're making here, and he's stopping the TPs.
Get stopped. I think Funz is going to get stopped by the minions. No, okay, he actually does make it back here, but now Hugger could be in a scary situation. Same with the Uther, going to potentially have to Divine Shield themselves again. I've seen this happen so many times. Brightwing going to get gorged here. Level 20 achieved for both teams. The wind tunnel is going to come out. Brightwing going to be able to jump out. Hugger able to actually...
Uther down. Uther down. Again, the hook from Stitches, and then the follow-up. And look at the bot lane. Look at the bot lane on the minimap. The entire thing comes in. There's a huge train of catapults coming for it now. 3 catapults, a shield pretty much gone already. 89% on the core. It's Winion time, baby. They need to defend this somehow. The objective at least was taken by the red team, but right now they're suffering. Brightwing is back trying to save the day. 60% on the core. They're losing more. The fight at the bottom left is continuing. Leo at least went down for all of this, but the core is below 50% now.
Yeah, and Brightwing really doesn't want to Z. If someone gets hooked, if someone's in a scary situation where they'll die, Brightwing is going to be put in a situation where if they Z, they potentially could lose the game. Mid and bottom catas, you see Makke. He knows it. He recognizes. He just flies onto the core here. And now all Team Wa has to do, it doesn't matter if they die, just stall the backs as it looks like Makke, the core, going down to about 30% here. Funds trying to survive. Hogger's falling. Five catas coming in here. And that looks like it may potentially be GG.
It has to be. He's going for it. And that is game team with a victory in game number 1, taking the 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, wow. What a fun match, though. Yes. Like, especially at the end there. But I have to say, I mean, we were singing his praises all game, but Mascarade on that Stitches, hitting so many hooks. Like, I felt like we saw 3 or 4 fights start with Uther getting gorged and being forced to de-shield themselves. That's not how you want your fight to start. You want to be saving that cooldown for your Vala, for your Sylvanas, so they can go aggressive. So, wow, what a play on that Stitches from Masca. You said it was going to come out on Tomb, but it came out on Infernal, and what a show it was.
Yeah, way sooner than expected here. And also, we had enormous amount of damage as well from ultralisk in particular. 58,000 towards the end of the game here. Top damage in the game, still Vala. So despite the fact that he died a lot, Funz was able to get the damage out. But just locking these kills was so tricky for them.
Yeah.
But good game there. So, and honestly, it starts to answer the question, how well is Makke going to mesh with the team here? Yeah. How well is he going to fit in? Right now, it seems the calls were pretty clean. Yeah. You go for the core, you push the side lane, we keep one on the objective, we try to stop the hearts. Yeah. So coordination, much better than I expected it would be on day number 1.
Well, and I mean, let's remember back to the start of the game, right? I felt like Wa was definitely out-rotating them. They got 2 forts with their first objective phase, right? Leo was split pushing in the top. You had Maiev, Rhaegar, Falstad pushing in the bottom. I think Stitches was down there as well. And I feel like that's something that is very Dino, right? When I think of Dino, he's a very macro player, loves to split it up. And Makke coming in and fitting perfectly, right? Like in that game, he had 13 kills, 13 of their 19, as far as like getting those last final hits, put out about 50k damage. So definitely making an impact on that Falstad.
Exactly. So game 1, we'll see how this continues, but also I want to quickly come back to one point that we made earlier. So again, this is a small LAN center that we are here, and we have our stage and everything, but the reason why there is a slight delay actually on the screens that the audience sees is simply so that there are no shenanigans where the players from a reaction can immediately say, all right, they're at boss, they're doing this. So it's not like there's a huge delay, they're not watching the stream or anything, but there's a tiny couple of seconds delay, and that's what causes the bit of discrepancy that you see from the timing here with the reaction from the crowd. Simply because the players also said, yeah, a little bit better for us, because they can instead, if they hear anything and then the game gets decided by that.
It's for competitive integrity, right? Like as a player, the last way you want it to go is like some sort of crowd commotion makes you realize a boss, and it's just not a fun way to have it, right? We want it to be competitive, so it's like a 20 or 30 second delay, but it's cool the fact that like the crowd is getting so hyped.
It's much smaller, isn't it? It's just a couple.
When I was talking to him, I thought he said it was like 20 or 30, but maybe it's a little bit less. I'm not 100% sure. But it's good. We like a little bit of delay. Just tragic that we don't have soundproof boosts, you know, because then we'd be able to let the players be able to play live. But the
Next event.
Kevin, get us some soundproof boosts. But I don't know. I love the energy. I love hearing people cheer and get excited again. Like, that is such a fun thing about actually being at the LAN in person, and the players feel that, right? Like, even if it's a little bit delayed, they know what moments they're getting hyped up about, right? Like, they know the team fight that happened 10, 15, 20 seconds earlier that they played really well in, or they went really badly for them, and they're like, oh shit, that like extra compounding mental factor.
And you could hear the crowd, especially when all of a sudden we had the Godzillas getting a bit of momentum in towards the late game there, that one fight where they started chasing them. I mean, they were driven by the crowd there as well. When they realized, okay, there's actually something going on, we might be able to see a start of a comeback here. Yeah. Hopes and dreams were crushed shortly after, but...
Name a more iconic duo, NA and getting their hopes and dreams crushed. You know, it's like, I'll wait. But as an NA lover, you know, as someone that's gone to NA or been an NA representative and crushed some hopes and dreams, it's a rough life. But I don't know. This is making me feel a bit better for NA. I mean, this is, let's say, our third best team here, and this is already pretty close, you know?
Yeah, in the late game, again, there's a reason why they didn't go into the team fight towards the end, because they knew this is where we can lose the game. Wala just has to pop off once. You try to go for a kill, the Divine Sheep comes at the right moment in time, the fight turns against you, you lose the first one, and then it snowballs from there. And if they get 4 kills, they go through the middle and end the game. So, yes, it looked like there was no chance for... I mean, sometimes it looks like the game, you can't lose it anymore, but that's oftentimes the very wrong way to approach this. Once 20 versus 20 hits and you are engaging in team fights, you can lose any game. So that's why they started to focus on the macro, and that was the smart choice to make there as well. And I like that they did it, because I feel a few weeks back they would have just said, okay, let's YOLO into the fight. And then if you lose it, then all of a sudden you're 0-1.
They get the objective, they take the 4. It's a scary situation. But I mean, Godzillas, when they were making that macro decision, I actually feel like they responded pretty well. They sent the Sylvan Brightwing back pretty much instantly. They did lose about 20% on core, but a lesser team, you know, maybe would have lost the entire game there, right? Like maybe Leo's able to stall a couple of backs. So it seems like their macro is not, I would say, on par to Team Wa. I definitely feel like Team Wa is, you know, ahead in that. But it seems like they're able to, at least in these late game situations, keep up with it. But it looks like for this second map, we're going to be getting into Tomb of the Spider Queen.
As you said, given the bad situation, they made the right choices. But because they already were in that spot, Wa could just simply, with the right plays, outplay them then.
I feel like they got so far behind in the early game, too.
Yes.
It's just like...
If that is a level towards the end that is on even structures, then we are looking at a completely different game, obviously. So that would have been interesting. And now that we're heading into Tomb, I'm curious what they have here.
Any Stitches bans? Maybe? Question mark? I mean, another good Stitches map. Mascarade, no joke, was so strong on that hero last game, right? Like, if they didn't have double support, they would have died so many more times, right? Like, because you'd have the Uther D shield into the Brightwing Z, and I just feel like that's maybe something that it could be worth, you know, taking off the table. Do you really want to play into Mascarade Stitches again? And I don't know if the answer is yes.
It's also one of the questions, if he doesn't land every single hook that he throws out in the first game. I mean, how many times did he get 0? And I gotta say, once or twice, 0 should have seen that coming. When they were defending the Shaman camp at the top right, and it just throws that long distance hook, at first was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And I was like, wait a second, they were attacking. Of course he has vision. Like, if Uther doesn't move, so that was one of the situations that was really telegraphed. But then some of the hooks came out of nowhere, and you just can't react there. So if they go for Stitches again, I want to see a game where Mascarade doesn't hit every single hook that he throws out and see how Godzillas react then.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's just something is I feel like it's pretty good on this map. We saw them play it earlier with a Kael'thas. I believe that was on Infernal Shrines as well, though. But I mean, as a Kael'thas lover, I would love to see Ultra play it. But we'll see if it does come out. I mean, I felt like, you know, Ultralisk, speaking of, felt like he had a really strong performance on that Maiev there. I love seeing him play those melee assassins with the lower ping, right, where he's able to make more of those skills.
You wanted a Kerrigan? If she comes out, it's here.
I would love a Kerrigan.
That's when Nick started it in Europe, to bring the Kerrigan back in, and then others followed quickly, and Ultralisk is one of them that can definitely get the Kerrigan out here. So if we're going to get a Kerrigan today from them, this is probably your best shot.
Yeah, well, and they probably won't force it, right? It's probably something we're going into the map. It's like, if it looks good, it's one of the things in our repertoire that we can pull out, right? We have the Kerrigan, we have the Stitches, we have the Mephisto.
I love the banter that's always going on in lobbies. Every single time we're going in lobbies, guys, the teams are always like bantering around, and they were just like talking the entire time. Apparently, Nagrom has to restart the game real quickly or fix something with his settings. I'm not quite sure, but they're just sitting there trash talking, and then the second that nagrom goes out, Fans immediately comes in. We're ready. Let's go. 5v4, boys.
5v4. Let's get it. Let's get it. Quick. Start.
It's like instant.
Yeah,
It's like, we're good. Let's go.
Then he's typing ready. I love it.
And the B steps as well.
Oh, the B steps were good.
Love it. I hate this that. I guess depending on what you play, if you're playing in publics, then it's a bit different. But if you're playing on a competitive level, some people are always coming in and saying like, "Oh, he's bad mana." B steps, honestly, it's like literally just people bantering. And when it's like, I don't know how it's on an A server, I suppose it's the same. But in Europe, all the players, they know each other.
Yes.
You have met each other on a LAN at an event. You talk each day in Discord, so you know each other. And there's always banter going on. So just seeing that being thrown out, I love that. A good spray game, a little bit of like B-step banter is always amazing. So
I live for some showboating. And the thing is, I think 95% of the time in competitive, it's like just fun, right? It's like you're playing against your teammates. But there is sometimes those grub matches, you know, where you're playing against Kenma and you B-step him and he B-steps you. And, but that also is fun too. I feel like that's an important element of competition, right? Like you look at other professional sports, other esports, and trash talking and, you know, trying to get in the opponent's head, that's a big component of the game. You know, these video games are so mental, right? And being able to like keep your confidence up is big. And like I personally love watching, you know, Mascarade hits the hook, Gorgeous just instantly starts B-stepping. It's like, that's a mental message that he's trying to send to the other opponent, and like, I live for it. I don't think it's bad-mannered.
Yeah, he has to step up the spray game a little bit. Like that standard spray there, I didn't like that. Like, that was weak. Back home,
weak sauce, tomato.
Yeah. Normally, I think he usually has the variant one, if I'm not mistaken. The variant or the Jimmy one of the two. Like I can't remember, but yeah, the spray game is usually a little bit better than that. Oh, what was it earlier? The taunt that he threw out, the master taunt that we had.
Oh wait, which one was it?
Where he was about to die in like one of the series earlier. That was also brilliant. Yeah, I love that stuff.
But I don't know. I live for the banter. I feel like it's such an important component. And I do feel like there would be backlash from the community of people not liking it. You know, at the end of the day, it's like everyone has different preferences. But I feel like it's something that I definitely want to like foster and encourage. And like my players for 30K are like people that I do like watching just because, you know, I don't think it's really done in like malice, right? It's like I'm trying to get in your head for competitive at the worst. And most of the time it's just like for fun.
There's nothing better than a player that makes a big play, B-steps, and then because he B-steps gets clapped all of a sudden. You could have walked away from this. You decided not to.
Yep.
I think there was one scene where like someone got the kill, starts B-stepping, and all of a sudden that Stitches hook keeps flying and grabs him. It's like, you could have gotten away, but yeah.
Well, and those moments are beautiful too, right? It's like you're being punished for your BM, and it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's entertainment. We want exciting, fun games, and I think B-steps help add to that.
Yeah. So, by the way, just to keep you guys updated, we had still some problems with nagrom. Apparently, it's been fixed, so he just jumped into the lobby. We're all good to go. So, we're heading into game number 2. Not sure if it was an audio issue or whatever the case was, but they had to restart real quickly for him, and now everything's fine. And, yeah, they can pretty much...
Yeah, I see the players spamming the R button, just, you know, letting the commentators know that they are ready, and we are going to be getting into it. The second game of this series, we have Team Wah versus Godzillas, and it's going to be played on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Which is also a pretty awesome map because you have a much higher priority on wave clear right now, so that's going to be kind of nice. We haven't seen a Tracer yet, by the way, either, so that's another one that we could eventually see here. Same time, Jojo, don't think there's a chance that she's going to be played here. She should be banned out. Curious to see if maybe at some point we're finally going to get that Stukov game, or if he's just going to keep getting banned here, which is to be expected.
Yeah, just such a powerful hero. Don't really want to deal with the potential variant shenanigans. Just, you know, the silence provides so much. But, I definitely expect the Johanna ban out of Team Wah, potentially that Stukov ban as well. But really, I'm curious to see what bans does Godzilla go for. So they do take away Makke's Falstad. That feels a bit like a target ban to me. I mean, Tomb, not the best map for globals, but they just don't want to deal with it.
He's going to bust it out at some point. I want to know when we're seeing Mephisto. It has to come. I don't believe for a second that we're going to see an entire tournament without him playing it. And this is another map where we... Like, the initial maps for Mephisto, where he played it before others jumped on the train as well, were always Volskaya and Inferno Shrines. So those were the two. But we've seen him on Tomb of Spider Queen quite a bit. Other people in Europe have started playing with the hero too. Nick is a very good example. Yeah. And he loves to play it on Tomb in particular. Blaze gets banned, so now we got even more of a side lane ban. It's the second time. daykwaza's Blaze is by now known, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, a very, very powerful hero in daykwaza. I think one of the best on it, definitely. Yeah. You know, I will say, we've spoken about Dino not being here, but a player I'm really sad about is Liam. I was really looking forward to watching this daykwaza versus Liam. In my opinion, the best North American offlaner versus the best European offlaner. And it's not this series right now. We'll probably talk about it more against Simp, but I just, I love watching top-tier offlaners play against each other, and that's going to be a Tychus ban, so they're leaving Johanna up.
Talking about the offlaner battle, historically that didn't go all the well for you when we played Glorong
all right. I think Liam's better than Glorong, okay. But
what was it? It was Urel into Samuro, right?
Yes, I think it was.
Well, Sky Foundry BlizzCon.
That khaldor remembers the moment perfectly when EU crushed NA. He's like,
dude, I remember
feasting on the
No. I was
tears.
on the analyst desk, and I see this, and I started laughing when I see the pic, because I'm like, you do realize it's Wooby on Urel, right? And I'm like, okay, the only thing I see is like you go global on level 10, you play around it.
Yes.
And then he starts picking, and he picks Bladestorm, and I'm just like sitting there, I was like, this is going to be tough. and then Wooby just starts laughing on camera. It's like, all right, let's go, boys.
What have you knew in that moment?
Talking about it, there we have first of all Urel, and we got a JoJo that went through.
Yeah, she.
So no ban on her.
Rhaegar as well. I mean, I think, okay, and then the Sylvanas Brightwing. So, I mean, Red Zero G played this last game. Savit's played this last game as well. But the Johanna is really the big thing. Such a powerful hero, provides a lot of wave clear. But the Rhaegar and Urel, I mean, daykwaza, I feel like, is so strong on that Urel. I feel like one of the best Urel players in the world, without a doubt. And so, with so many offlaners taken away, I mean, I guess it's just the Blaze. I feel like it's definitely one of the priority picks on this map.
I'm still surprised that they didn't ban JoJo. They went for Tychus instead, so what are they going to pick here? Is this going to be a Diablo pick for them for Masquerade? I mean, he is brutal when you play as Diablo. But then again, it could also be that Stitches once more.
Yeah.
With the hit point pool, it's pretty much the same thing. I totally agree with you, by the way, on Urel. I absolutely love her. A good Urel player is just so much fun to watch.
Yes.
And I think that daykwaza is going to wreak havoc here. But the JoJo on the other side, that wave clear, Sylvanas capitalizing on every single kill that you get, trying to get the push going, get the web weavers in here.
There's going to be the Mephisto ban. They don't want it. They don't want it.
They ban Falstad and they ban Mephisto. And there's Dibbles, and we get a mid-div with it. You know why I actually like this? Because this is one of the things that when CCL started and we had some of the European players playing cross-server with the ping, they tried to go for Diablo mid-div, and it failed horribly. Like that delay that you have there screwed it up every single time. And I haven't seen that combo in quite some time now, even on the European side, but I really want to see now if they can execute it perfectly, if they go for the combo.
Yeah, no, I think it's very powerful, but Deathwing and Chen coming out for the side of Godzillas. And I mean, so Vala rounding out the composition for a while. They have a pretty standard comp. I feel like it's very powerful, a lot of wave clear. But this Deathwing and Chen, two heroes that are not picked very often and definitely are not picked together that often. And so it looks like it's going to be the 4-man Deathwing.
We've actually had it in Europe.
Okay, so
I've seen him once or twice.
So which build? Do they go melee or ranged?
No, usually like melee. I mean, with Chen, you can also try to isolate again, so that really helps you create a little bit of space too, and you have a lot of tools that can jump in. So yeah, I've seen it from like one of our teams, but not like the top 4 teams has started to play this a little bit once or twice.
This specific combo?
Those two together, yes.
Oh.
And I mean, it is pretty rough. Like with Deathwing, all the stuns don't really work for you. But the problem that I have is like you have now this auto attack Vala, very likely for makke. He loves to play that style. Normally you try it with a double support. In this case, you get a mid-div on top of it. And this mid-div Diablo hasn't really been played in Europe lately all that much. So this one is just to shield Vala a bit, help her out. And I'm curious to see if on level 10 then they go into the ley line and the APOC.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see that comp again. If that's executed properly, it's always so much fun.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's really powerful as well. And I think one thing to know is like, I guess Chen can jump on and try and potentially barrel the Vala. But outside of that, they don't really have that many threats to kill the Vala, right? Maybe with Falling Sword, as you get to like level 20, you'll have a lot more. But it feels like it's going to be a hard time pressuring this Vala. And I feel like makke, especially in this early mid-game, is going to have so many stacks and doing so much damage.
And especially since you have the mid-div support. So if mid-div keeps its cooldowns, you can just simply come in, you get your shield out, you get the portal through, and then you save Vala time and time again here. But yeah, time will tell. I mean, at the end of the day, Brightwing, I think, has to really apply some CC. It depends also a bit of... I mean, I've talked with them yesterday, and we talked a lot about, okay, Falling Sword. against the shield, getting
Yeah.
the stun in. Like, what do you do here? In this situation, for example, they could get a lot out of Blessed Shield.
Yes.
If they coordinated well with the rest of the CC that they're running. The problem if you're going for Falling Sword is always until 20, you're oftentimes suffering. And
Yeah.
here, I could, given the composition that they're playing, definitely see them going to Blessed Shield instead and just try to get the CC going, jump in with Chen, Sylvanas getting the damage out, maybe following it up with even a Wailing Arrow afterwards.
Yeah, definitely feel like they need more of that mid-game pressure potentially just because, you know, I feel like if they reach level 20, they have a pretty strong composition, but might be pretty hard to get there. But, you know, we shouldn't underestimate the power of Zero on this Johanna. Johanna definitely first banned for a reason. So it looks like Gojira on this Chen is going to be getting portaled on, and Ultra actually falling a bit low here. Doesn't have portal. If they're able to jump onto him, could be a scary situation. But no, it looks like Ultra knows his limits, is going to be able to escape and just walk on out of there.
He's at 16 stacks already.
Wait, what? We're 45 seconds into the game. What?
Yeah, he is stacking like a madman right now. Those little brawls that we saw in the first minute have done a huge deal for him.
I don't know if I've ever seen 20 stacks at 1 minute. What? Ultra about to have some of the fastest Medivh stacking time in history, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, this is getting a bit crazy. So at this point, I would just tell makke, listen, I'm going to be happy to give you a one shield after another later on, but you got to wait a little bit.
Ooh.
No.
And that's going to be daykwaza falling. I mean, it looks like they're opting into the counter rotate.
I absolutely love it. The second he's like, go get him!
yeah. I love the parents coming out here supporting their kiddos playing.
Oh, it's so good. Go get him!
Get him, son! But, I mean, yeah, Urel falls. That's a couple gems going the way of Godzillas. I mean, a pretty good start to the game so far for them. Also able to get out this siege camp. Going to rotate to the Knights of their own, as it looks like Nagrom and makke are going to be looking to pressure mid here with their Knight camp.
Yeah, makke at 17 stacks. It's really ultralisk that we're looking for first, because obviously he doesn't want to die until he's done with that. And the way this is going for him currently, we can expect a very early completion unless he's getting ganked and dropped. But here's the push through the middle, so they have the camp early. The Bruiser camp is also going to be taken on the right side. And again, the move from Chena's Godzillas, trying to zone them away a little bit. We also got Deathwing moving in. Makke in trouble, gets the heal. Portal is already out, but he gets away. So even without the support of Medivh, Rhaegar was enough to make sure that makke doesn't fall here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good save as well. I mean, you were mentioning it last game with funds, but when you die on Vala, you do lose some of your stacks or some of your value from that talent. So definitely don't want to die in the early mid game so that you can just maximize your damage going into the mid late. As it looks like the Godzillas, they want to get a counter push of their own. They want to potentially get this mid wall, but this is also opening up an opportunity for ultralisk on this Medivh to finish up his quest.
Mascarade is at this point at 39 souls. Yeah, obviously those little brawls that we have now open up another opportunity for makke to get the stacks together, and at least the first quest reward here. Funds is in trouble, and he is down. So already a kill against the red team now as well. And we have the first quest reward for Vala hitting the 50. 31 stacks by now for Medivh. He should be fine here. I mean, if ultralisk is an ending, then he's going to complete the quest.
Yeah, I mean, 31. Looks like he's very far along here. As it looks like both teams pretty much even to level 7 at this moment. Big advantage for WA is that they were able to drop 35 of their gems so far, so definitely feel like they are the team in the lead to get this first turn in. But the question is, if they get it, what will they be able to get off of it? You know, sometimes we see these first turn in translate into a couple walls, sometimes we see it translate to some fort damage, and sometimes we see them just pretty much get cleared up and not be able to get anything. So definitely would expect WA, at least in this stage of the game, the way it's gone so far, to potentially get the first turn in, but we'll see what they're able to get off of it. As, yeah, daykwaza able to get 18 gems in, and that is going to be the turn in going over to the side of Team WA.
38 stacks, and there's the completion. 355, and Medivh is done. Hot pursuit for Vala. More attacks coming in, and there's another kill as Vala comes in and takes the fruit fly down. Trashwing is dead. Sylvanas gets dropped. 3 kills to 1, and that couldn't have come at a better moment in time for the blue team, because Web Weavers are already on the way.
Oh, no.
They even killed Deathwing, who turns quickly into Deadwing. Couple of gems collected here by Jojo, but this is going to be brutal.
Dang, you had 2 shots at Deathwing during that cast. You had Deadwing, and what was the other one?
No, Trashwing was against Rightwing.
Oh, okay. I thought that was.
I guess he could go for both.
Yeah. I thought those were both shots at the Deathwing, which I was like, damn, that's pretty, in one casting sentence, able to get 2 across. But this is going to be a very powerful Web Weaver phase for the side of Team WA, as they're able to get mid fort, now going to be rotating into the top fort, as it looks like funds here on the Deathwing, going going to be coming in using that Cataclysm, and they're not going to lose the top fort, but taking a lot of damage so far, and definitely a strong early game lead coming out for the side of Team Wa.
And yeah, Chen is in trouble. They are moving in through the portal. They're portaling down. He went in a little bit too deep. He didn't expect the rotation he has, it seems. Trying to escape. Diablo says, not on my watch. Pushes him back into the fight. That's 11 gems down as they go for Gojira. They take the Panda down. They get the additional stacks also for Vala, who's now at 96. Closing in on the 100. 5 kills to 1. Level lead. Nearly level 10 now for the blue team as they took down 2 forts in the first objective round.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about that first objective, and I was like, yeah, maybe they'll get a couple of walls. Maybe they'll get some keep fort damage. Nah, they said 2 forts or bust, and they got it. And that top fort is also chunked out. Would not be surprised. Actually, you see makke right now on the minimap on that Vala. Okay, he was hitting the boss. I was like, are they about to send this? And they maybe could have, right, with that level 10 advantage.
Yeah.
But
No combo, by the way.
Okay, sad.
We get, yeah. I mean, these days we get lightning breath pretty much most of the time. And I already talked about it a little bit during the draft, and I said, okay, if we get it. But
Yeah.
I would have loved it because I think the combo is kind of cool when it hits. But you can get a lot of the lightning breath here. The ley line is something that you still don't want to let go. But now they are pushing it even further. They got level 10, and of course they have to capitalize on these advantages.
Yeah, definitely. As it looks like Nagrom is going to be able to finish up that bruiser camp. They're closely approaching their second turn in here, but it looks like they still want to continue pressuring this top side. Chen and the bot side funds here on the Deathwing, actually in a pretty scary situation. Going to be trying to cut out here. I mean, it's a Rhaegar, a Yrel, and a Diablo. They don't have that much damage as makke, their big damage dealer, comes in, and they take funds down on the Deathwing. But the side of Godzillas is able to grab the rest of their gems, so not all is lost.
They need to turn some in. They haven't turned in a single gem yet, and they are getting pressured again. But finally, they have level 10. So we got the triple pandas coming in. And we get the Blessed Shield. So as expected a bit earlier, this time we're not going to see the jump into the back line, so we don't have the Falling Sword here, but instead we're going to go for more CC on Jojo for the front line. And now they, of course, have to try and really force a bit of a battle here and make a play. They're trying to go for daykwaza and for Mascarade already as the fight starts to shape up. Leyline is out, trapping 2 of them, and they're trying to go for Gojira here. Everybody focusing on the turning point here in the back. Ultralisk again doing his thing. Makke with one attack after another is closing in on the 3rd reward, and the Panda has to pop the ult as the focus is on him.
Nagrom able to get the Ancestral, able to survive. It looks like Funds is going to get a pretty big Cataclysm across. Makke also zoned out here. Diablo falling decently low, but during all of this, Zero on this Johanna trying to get the channel in. Maske, though, doing a good job rotating it and stopping that, and that's going to be every single ultimate used for the side of Godzillas, whereas Strafe and Ardent Defender is going to be up for the side of Team Wa.
And they're turning in. They got the second objective. They have another round of Web Weavers touching ground soon. And they're also closing in on level 13 with this. So there's a good chance that while the push is going strong, they have a talent advantage over the red team. Great position once again. They play it a bit slow. They wait for the objective here. There's only a single fort still up, and they're making a move for it.
Yeah, I'd like to see them continue playing it, so not forcing anything until they get that level 13. And right as I say that, Mascarade going in, recognizing Zero, no longer has the Unstoppable, using Lightning Breath as well, as it looks like Gojira is going in on the backline. Doesn't have Panda Pals for another 60 seconds, so has to be careful here. Not as...
He's dead.
Yeah, definitely. That's 30 gems, too, that they might not be able to actually get to, as the ley line is going to connect onto 3. This looks disastrous for the side of Team Godzillas, and that's going to be 2 falling with the Web Weaver phase coming in and pushing.
And the gems are lost. They didn't recover any of them. So 2 are already down. The top fort is about to fall. The walls at the keeps are getting cleaned up. 8 kills to 1. Level 13 is in their hands. And more stacks for Vala, who's now hitting 150. The damage coming in, and they go for keep number 1. Funds is also in trouble. He tries to play with the vision a little bit. Even that is not working out. Deathwing is dead once more. And the bot lane keep is about to get dropped as well as the one in the middle. It is brutal. At this point, we're having Team go through them like hot butter through cheese.
That's 2 keeps, and they're about to get a 3rd. Sheesh, 9 minutes in, second Web Weaver phase. This is going to be the 3rd keep going the way of Team Wa. And if you're the Godzillas at this point, this is a disastrous situation. You're saving grace. You have 55 gems. You still have a turn-in. There's still the boss on the map. If you get some fights, if you get some kills, potentially you could find an opportunity here. And it looks like they just want to force it. Even though they don't have 13, they just want to go for the fight here.
Boss is up, so you can make a play for that too. We have tempered by discipline a level 13. The talent advantage is going strong for the blue team. Once they hit 16, once that Manticore is in, like, look at this lineup.
Yeah.
They're just going to melt. You have Deathwing, you have Chen, Jojo. They're going to melt away once Vala can capitalize on her level 16 talent.
Yeah, that's so scary. I feel like with this 13 advantage, you definitely have to look to force something. You're very far behind, taking out your Knights for the side of Godzillas, but it's so hard to force something when look at ultralisk on this Medivh just hovering around everyone, saying, hey, where you want to go? What are you doing on the map? This is just providing vision for Team Wah to be able to, you know, not get caught, not be put in a situation with their pants down.
This is going to be, I mean, you don't have a good fight left. It's pretty much what it comes down to. You're not going to fight on even talents unless you can force it before 16, which is not going to be possible. Makke is already going for the boss with tempered by discipline. There's the 16. You have to take a bad battle. There's just no other way anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think they know that the boss is being attacked here. Honestly, it has happened so often in Europe right now by multiple teams when Vala is played that pretty much everybody is checking as soon as Vala is not on the map. Is she at the boss? But I don't think they're aware.
Yep.
So now we have a boss moving straight up for the core.
Yeah, luckily they were able to get 45 gems in, but this could potentially be a GG push for the side of Team Wah as they have that boss, and it looks like they may go for the forced engage on the middle side, as it looks like Masca going deep here with the Lightning Breath as well. Funds on the Deathwing, trying to kite out, but you see Makke with the Mana Core just blowing Deathwing up, as it looks like Chen, are they going to be able to get the Panda Pals off? Going for it, going to be able to connect it down very low on HP, but the ley line, oh, Brightwing actually getting connected.
They didn't even want to go for Brightwing, and I was like, all right. Is able to survive for a second, and the boss is already demolishing the shield on the core. So while they are fighting, the boss is doing work, and the Panda is low. Ooh. Here comes the leyline follow-up. Brightwing stunned into the core again. Goodbye, Fruit Fly. That's a kill, and the core is falling quickly. They're going to go for the 2-0 here. Team moving in with a vengeance and crushing through Godzillas on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, sheesh. That second game, they came out with a vengeance. That first turn-in, they just got so far ahead. 2 forts, so much value. And, yeah, I mean, we saw a couple different things from them as far as composition-wise. You know, Medivh Diablo, we saw that Stitches in the first game, the Falstad priority. Definitely really excited to see what Team Wah has for the rest of this tournament, because I feel like this is just the start. You know, we didn't even get to see the Mephisto.
Yeah.
They got a lot of other, you know, the Kerrigan potentially, a lot of other tricks up their bag.
Vala didn't die once, and that stacking... First of all, how quick was Ultralisk with this?
That was crazy.
That was insane. 355, and he was just done. And after the first minute, he was already halfway completing his quest. Yeah. So now they were able to keep Vala alive. She stacks, she doesn't die, she has the auto attack speed. And most of these fights happen even before level 16 kicks in. And after that, the power spike for her is insane if you weren't able to drop her a couple of times beforehand. So, yeah, clean play from them on the second map for sure. And, yeah, I'm curious to see more from them. I love how well they mesh with Makke right now. Yeah. Yes, again, it would have been great to have Dino here. But so far, Makke has been a good replacement. He's definitely done what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, definitely a high-caliber player, Makke is. And something I'm curious to see is I really feel like this next match they're going to have against either Diamond Hands or against Simplicity in that winners finals, I feel like is really going to be the true test for Wah, right? Like, I feel like both of those teams, CCL caliber, you know, very, very strong, have both practiced and played together. You know, Simplicity is not necessarily the specific Simplicity roster as we see Wah on Mascarade, you know, Mascarade playing for Wah. Hey! Dude, your Stitch is God.
Yeah.
You want to sit here?
Simplicity said they're gonna...
Come on, bathrobe boy.
Hello?
Dude, you have a bathrobe, but you didn't shower, did you?
Oh, wait, I stink? Already?
Huh? What do you mean already? Is that a normal thing for you?
Over time, you know, it's a LAN, you know.
Okay. How about your stitches?
Yeah. It was fine, I think. No? What do you think?
I think it was okay.
It was okay, yeah, decent.
I think you missed one, maybe two, so...
Sure, we can.
Yeah, you have a new nickname, apparently.
Yeah, Stitches. Simplicity said they're gonna probably ban it against me somehow. I don't know. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, we had a lot of fun. It was a good match.
Which map did you like more, first or second?
I mean, I had to play Stitches the first, so yeah, it was the first map for sure.
Were you guys at some point a little bit worried that you're overdoing it?
Nah. Nah.
You do
found
realize
like
that you lost a couple of tournaments in Europe because you were just like going all out and taking every single fight that you get.
Sure.
I was happy that you actually backed off the last fight and said
Yeah.
like, hey, we're going to play macro.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's money at stake. We have to win, but we are here to kill. So whatever it takes.
Okay, who is the opponent you want to face in the next round?
And I don't think we have a choice, do we? But
And who you want to if you get a choice? If you had one.
I mean, I don't care. I would really love to play against Simplicity at some point, because of course they are teammates somewhat. But
You want to show your teammates who's boss?
yeah,
Establish dominance a little bit.
yeah. I mean, yes, I guess. But they are a formidable opponent, so it's gonna be fun.
Okay. How well does makke fit in right now? It's like you
Pretty
guys
good. I mean, he's a shot caller. He helps a lot for draft. I think he's a really good fit. Danu is really hard to replace, you know. But so far, so good.
How much did you actually swim with him beforehand?
Sorry, what? Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna go with yes.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah. What did you ask? Sorry.
How much you actually swimmed with him?
I think once or twice.
Once or twice?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Danu told us the good news like a couple of weeks just before. I mean, it was hard to get scrims and stuff. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know you had a little bit of a strategy and tactics talk with makke.
In the hot tub, actually, yesterday.
Hot tub talk, exactly.
Yeah, we all went into the hot tub and we discussed things out. And,
So apparently they played lobster. The hot tub at the hotel seems to be insanely hot.
insanely hot.
So
You should try it.
Yeah, I haven't been
Tonight.
there yet.
Yeah?
Maybe tonight, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
closed
join.
at 11
Ooh, that's
Good
going to
to
be a
know.
little bit rough. When does it open? Maybe I have to do it in the morning.
and 6 to 11.
Yeah, that's easy.
11 p.m.
Yeah, but 6 o'clock in the morning, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I woke up today. So then I go into a hot tub. I'll wake you up and we go together and you can tell me all about the strategies.
you do.
Hot tub stream.
Yeah, you coach me for the gym
Okay?
and hot tub swim. Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right, so we get more from this guy soon, but first of all, we're going to jump into another series.